Hey, it's Jay. So today my topic is for my practice, SGI practice. It's Buddhism for our youth and our future. And it's not that this Buddhism is new. And let me just stop any inconceptions right now. If you think in your head that I'm talking about the big fat guy who sits Indian style, who has a bald head and he rubs his belly, then let's just expel that right now. Because that's actually Buddha, and he is a Chinese folklore, and he's kind of like that cat that's like, and you wave its hand and sitting at all those, merchant stores, and it's good luck to get money, but it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Buddhism. Buddha actually was very, very skinny. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way and I cleared your mind of that big fat guy who, could put down the knife and fork, as my friend Bill says, I can get you on the right path of thinking. So, now another form of thinking that you think of Buddhism is that you have to lock yourself away. You can't curse. You can't have sex. What? You can't eat certain foods. Let me see. You can't talk to people. You have to carry a broom and sweep the floor in front of you so you don't kill any bugs. I hate spiders. Smash. You have to, there's so many things, and that's true for some Buddhism. Zen Buddhism practices a level of meditation. So you sit and you want to get into your inner voice and shut off your mind and just become. I can't do that. There's too many voices in my head. Yes, they're all my own voices, but there's too many. They're not quieting. You know why? Because I was raised in the 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010s, 2000 now 20s. We cannot shut off that voice. There's too much TV, there's too much media, and we shouldn't have to. There should be a type of Buddhism practice that goes with our advancements. And yes, Zen practice was a big thing way back then to reach nirvana state. And I want to read you something. So, it says nirvana state indicates a state of life of peace and tranquility attained through the extermination of earthly desires. So that's like because you smoke cigarettes, because you drink alcohol, because you have sex, because you play video games, because anything that makes you feel guilty about yourself that you enjoy, those are earthly desires. And you do not have to get rid of them to become enlightened, to become a Bodhisattva of this earth, and to become a Buddhist. You don't have to get rid of any of that stuff. So they used to think this understanding has come to inform the meaning of entering nirvana, which indicates the death of a Buddha, which is true. You're killing yourself. You're taking away everything in your life and locking yourself away, and you're not getting out of a safe zone. Like, you have no chance to get hurt. So, just think about it. You lock yourself away. Now, these things, the normal challenges, we can't, in 2020, we can't lock ourselves away from things. We can't do that. And you shouldn't have to, because each one of those things that you go through, will help you. As long as you have the right tools and the right attitude and the right spirit and knowledge and people to back you up in that thinking, that you will get through it. And you'll be a better person because of it, and you can help other people because of it. So, let's see. So this is what Shakyamuni emphasizes, that the complete nirvana and Shakyamuni is Buddha. He's the original Buddha. And now I lost my place. Okay. Complete nirvana in the sense of physical and spiritual extinction is an expedient means. Like, expedient means you can get to Buddha, be a Buddha faster. So, in the Lotus Sutra, true nirvana does not mean physical and spiritual extinction. Rather, it consists of the perfection of wisdom. So, Shakyamuni made all these sutras, right? And as he got older, of course, he gained more knowledge on how to seek enlightenment. In his last sutra, he was in his 80s. Ooh, that's, you know, living back then, he lived like, that must have been 200 years old in our age. Because people didn't live past 35, 40. So to live to 80, that's, you know, he's got to be doing something right. So, in his last Lotus Sutra, he figured out that you can achieve enlightenment in one lifetime. That I can achieve Buddhism and enlightenment. You can achieve Buddhism and enlightenment. Anyone can achieve Buddhist and enlightenment in a lifetime. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't make a whole hell of a lot of mistakes and did some pretty crappy things maybe in my lifetime. So, I have made mistakes. You know. So, it doesn't mean that after those mistakes, you can't get yourself back on track. And that you can't obtain enlightenment, because you can. So, you have to have faith and belief. So, the next thing that I'm going to tell you is how. So, after Shakyamuni, there's a guy named Nichiren Daishonin. He studied Shakyamuni's sutras. And I'm not going to give off dates because I don't remember right now. But, so he came after, like, way after. So he studied them, and he studied the Lotus Sutra, and he came to the conclusion that the Lotus Sutra was what we should be studying, because it was Shakyamuni's last sutra, and it was his key to telling everyone how to obtain Buddhism in a single lifetime. So, and he, Nichiren Daishonin compounded all that and made a mantra, which is Nam-myo Ho Rengi Kyo, the devotion to the mystic law and Lotus Sutra. And by being devoted to this, and by reading this or saying this, it's like saying that sutra like 100 times. So he put the energy into these words, and poof, Nam-myo Ho Renge Kyo. So which side is it? No. Okay. So this is a living. Oh man, it's backwards, I think. Well, it says a living Buddhism. I'll give your eyes, like, so we get these monthly. I don't know why I'm looking over there, because the camera's not over there, but we get these monthly if you're a member. Member means, you know, you've decided that this practice and what we believe in, you know, bright future, self-happiness, is what you want in your life, and you want to get a Gahon zone, which I'll explain later, and you want to chant, and you want to practice, and you want to learn, and you want to be a better person, and you want other people to be better people, and you want yourself to be happy, and you want other people to be happy, and everything's happiness, and you know, you want to fight for what you believe in, and everything. So once you decide that, and you get your Gahon zone, you start chanting every day, everything. You know, you can chant without a Gahon zone. You right now can start chanting Nam-myo Ho Renge Kyo. You don't need a Gahon zone. You don't need to read some books or do anything. You can just start saying it now, and just believing everything will get better. You can even ask for something. One time, my friend, I was like, oh, I learned this thing, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And she's like, okay. I was like, watch this. Now, we were paying, we went to Safeway and we're getting a sandwich. I don't know if you remember the Tuscan sandwich, pesto, chicken, Tuscan, whatever. And that sandwich is better toasted. But we were paying with food stamps, couldn't get toasted. I was like, watch this. I'm going to say Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and they're going to have that toasted sandwich. We're going to have it toasted. And she's like, they can't toast, because you can't have hot with food stamps. So I was like, watch this. And I was like, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. She was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I accidentally toasted your sandwich. I was like, but we're paying with food stamps. She's like, I'm going to mark it a cold sandwich. I was like, see? Look at that. Now, you can do way better than sandwiches. But I was just giving you an example. So, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. I'm going to read you the little thing on the beginning of our book. Every magazine that comes every month. I don't know why I touch my face all the time. I think it's because I've been working out and I've been training for a 5K. So, it's actually 3 miles. But it sounds better when you say 5K. So, okay, so the Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. The essence of Buddhism is the belief that each person possesses the potential to overcome any difficulty or problem. This inherent and boundless potential is referred to as the Buddhist nature, or Buddha nature, a state of life characterized by limitless courage, wisdom, and compassion. Now, let me tell you, let me just cut this thing off right here. I don't always have that all the time. So, and I'm sure a lot of members don't have that all the time. We have a thing called the 10 Worlds, which I'm not going to get into right now. That's a whole different thing. So, but let me just continue. We're just focusing on Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Buddha means awakened one. The founder of Buddhism, Shakyamuni, or Siddhartha Gautama, awakened to the eternal and universal law within each life that is I can't say that word. Synonymous. Alright, with Buddha nature. He taught that all people, without expectation, possesses the Buddha nature and are inherent worthy of respect. This is a teaching that is expressed in the Lotus Sutra. So, by chanting the phrase Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, which is the name of our Buddha nature. Hey, I didn't know that. And I've read this thing 100 times. Maybe I skipped over that. So, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, which is the name of our Buddha nature, we awaken to the reality that we are Buddhas who have unlimited reserves of courage, wisdom, compassion to resolve every challenges in our life. By chanting, we experience positive changes and undergo a process of self-transformation called human revolution. Doesn't that sound amazing? Where's the catch? There's got to be a catch. There's got to be some kind of punishment, like sitting in a room by yourself, listening to your thoughts. That is hell. Okay, so and now we chant. So what do we chant to? We don't chant to Shakyamuni. We don't chant to Nichiren Daishonin. We don't chant to a statue. You're essentially chanting to a mirror. Yourself, a reflection of you looking at yourself. Now, if you don't have a Gohonzon, you can actually use a mirror and just look at yourself and chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Nam, N-A-M, Myoho, M-H-O-H-O, M-Y-O-H-O, sorry, Renge, R-E-N-G-E, Kyo, K-Y-O, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. Okay, so, we chant to the Gohonzon, which, okay, Nam-myoho Renge-kyo to the Gohonzon. The Gohonzon is a mandala. It's the thing. Mandala. Inscribed by Nichiren Daishonin, the person who came up with Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, embodying the law of Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. It serves as a mirror that enables us to perceive the true nature of our lives. Chanting to the Gohonzon helps us bring forth the inexhaustible force Buddhahood from within. So pretty much, if you think of it on a different level, I don't think anybody in this world can deny there's a force out there, a force of nature, call it God, call it the universe, call it the wind, that's invisible, but you can feel it, right? You can feel it, and that energy lives inside you. If you listen to any of the science channels now, they say, you know, before you're touching yourself, because there's energy there. If you think a thought in your head, and you put it, and you believe it, so it's thinking it, believing it, and then putting it into action, then it's going to happen. So, so the Gohonzon is, you're tapping into this energy, and you chanting to it, and you're saying the sutras, and you're, you know, the more you do it, it's a practice, it's discipline. We do it morning and night, because I don't do it morning and night. I'm horrible. I believe the Gohonzon lives in me, but I do like to practice when I can practice, and you know, I don't practice every day, even though I should, and I'm not really studying every day, even though I should, but I don't beat myself up because the Gohonzon lives in me. It is me. I am Nam-myoho Renge-kyo. I am chanting to myself, and it's never going to leave me. It's always going to be a part of me. So we chant twice a day to the Gohonzon. When we focus on the Gohonzon while chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, our lives and the universe merge like cogs in the great machine, meshing together with perfect precision, and we begin to move in the direction of happiness and fulfillment. So we begin to align with our true nature and what we really want. You know, that little voice that, like, can barely speak, that's overrun by the other voice that's going, you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you can't do it. And there's this other voice that's like, man, come on, shut up, I can do it, I can do it. So that voice, it makes that voice louder, louder, and louder, and louder, and happier, and happier. And the other voices start to go away, and you start to becoming truly you. Not how, you know, what you know, because we're all raised different, and how we're raised, you know, it truly, like, I wasn't raised in a good situation, so instilled in my head is all this bad crap. And the more I practice, the more that bad crap that was instilled in me as a kid, you know, I'm not worth it, I'll never make it, people are better than me, goes away. So if we instill this practice in our youth, and they never get those voices in their head, and they believe that they can fulfill their true potential and the potential for happiness for others in the world, that would be amazing. So that's why I said this is for our youth and our future, because Buddhism. It's not Buddhism what old people used to think about. It's not cutting earthly desires. You know, you can smoke and be enlightened and be a Buddha. You can have premarital sex and be a Buddha. You can, I don't know, whatever you think in your head is the reason why you cannot be enlightened. You can, through this practice, through SGI and Soka Gakkai International. SGI, practice Nichiren Buddhism. Okay, so I wanted to get on one more thing that I was reading in here. Okay. Actually, there was two things. So, on to the youth. children are the treasures of the future. Mr. Toda said, of the children who shoulder the future of not only the Soka Gakkai, but humanity as a whole, think of them as emissaries of the future, and take the very best care of them. All children, without exception, are precious, possessing infinite potential. They are treasures who shape the future. This is why we gave our youth the name Future Division. So that's anybody, I think it's anybody under 35. Yeah, you're youth if you're under 35. So awesome. If you think you're old, you're not. Okay, so Buddhism describes a person who, Buddhism describes a person who exerts a positive influence on another as a good friend. Nichiren Daishonin states, the best way to attain Buddhahood is to encounter a good friend and to be a good friend. That's why we have a practice with people and we come together in groups. Not right now because it's coronavirus, but we have been doing meetings on Zoom and I try to make those especially I can. But right now I'm working on myself, which I like being by myself right now. So sometimes you do have to be by yourself. And that's okay too. If you want to zen, if you want to meditate, if you want to go on a hilltop, sit there for days by yourself, and that's what you feel you need to do, then you do it. Because we don't discriminate against that either. If you want to do yoga, if you want to do martial arts and boxing, and or with cage fighting and punch somebody's face in, we don't care. We love you. You're awesome. You're a Buddha. So, next thing. Oh, I think I got rid of the page. Okay, no, here we go. So, on what's going on right now in the world, and my practice stance on it. So, this is, again, the August 2020. The other one I just read was the September. On the stance of what's going on right now. So, okay. Dependent origination and the greater self. It's on page 14. When individuals cannot grasp or appreciate their connection with others, it gives rise to a sense of isolation, mistrust, hostility, or apathy. I think that's how you say that. It leads to a society based upon fragile human relationships. Like, one person with one opinion can't get along with another person just because they have a different opinion. They're evil. No, it's like, come on. From the perspective of Buddhism, that which creates trust, respect, and harmony among people can be described as good. That which divides people, causing disrespect, mistrust, is regarded as evil. So, there's stuff that wants us to be separated. There's stuff, there's a whole energy field out there that wants to bring you down. It wants to cause rifts among everyone. So just like there's this amazing energy that helps us, there's also an energy that wants to tear you down. But, so Sensei elaborates. He says, the pathology of divisionness drives people to an unreasoning attachment to difference, and blinds them to human commonalities. So just because you're different, I think what it's saying is just because you're different in one area doesn't mean that you have to be enemies. Because, you have a commonality in a lot of other areas. You want the same thing. Like, sorry to get into politics right now, like the Democrats and Republicans. Like, here we are, I have no money, I can't even get on unemployment to get my unemployment. So, I can't pay my rent this month. So, but they want to sit there and argue amongst themselves, even though that, they can come together and agree for the majority, for the greater good of the country, but they each want to rest on their egos and their laurels, and I'm right. Oh, I'm going to hurt you because you're not doing what I want you to do. That's evil. That's like learned behavior that we learned when we were children, and we never got rid of it. And it's okay. You know, it's now okay, and we see it, and our kids are watching shows where that's an okay behavior. It's not an okay behavior. So, deep psychology. This is not limited to individuals, but constitutes the deep psychology and collective egoism, which takes its most destructive form in virulent strains of ethnocentrism. I don't know. If you know what that word is, comment down below. And nationalism. We know what that is. Okay. So, which is leading us right now to what? Discrimination! I love this book sometimes because it cuts deep into what's happening right now and, you know, helps you kind of get what you feel on the inside out. So, discrimination is another form, can be seen as a symptom of what Buddhism regards as the human tendency to create division and fractures based on superficial distinctions. So in case you didn't get that, you're creating divisions based on superficial, like face, color, you got a freckle, you have a zit, you got one no arm, you got one no leg, you know, I have a beard and boobs, so you're creating a division between, like, there's a difference between us, because inside, we're spirit, we all bleed the same color, we're all the same on the inside. So, way inside. Discrimination and prejudice fundamentality contradict any understanding of life's interconnectedness. Now, Sensei explains to us, because in case you didn't understand what was happening there. In essence, discrimination is an act of throwing up barriers of difference among the phenomenon that fills the universe and establishing a hierarchy of value, thus breaking the bonds that link and connect all things. This is then used to justify oppression and exploitation. As such, it must be condemned as a desecration of the sanctity of life itself. Which, for me, right there means that, like, if this continues, you know, nobody's gonna have a good life. At all. If you continue to base your thinking around this, then you're not going to be happy at all. So, just touch base there. So, this is my practice. This is what I live by. It's a study, it's a practice, it's a lifestyle. It is, and it comes along with, you can be a Christian Buddhist, you can be a Judaism Buddhist, you can be, you can believe in Allah and be a Buddhist. You can believe in Santa Claus and be a Buddhist. You can have a faith-based religion and still apply our Buddhist philosophy to your life. I hope that you better understand my practice and what I do to better myself mentally and spiritually on the inside and every day. Because just like I'm practicing to run a 5K, and I'm learning better nutrition, I need to learn how to, and I'm a good person right now. I think I'm a pretty amazing person, but I can always be better, and I can always do better. So I need a practice that's going to help me be better mentally and help other people and be happier. And by being happier, I can help other people because I'm good at helping other people, but not in a spiritual way. Like, so this is helping me find my true self and become a better person every single day. So, if you want to know more about this practice, SGI has a website, SGI USA. You can go on there and find out more about that. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I just want to give a shout out to my Buddha mama, Victoria, because I'm going to send her this video, and I hope you liked it, Victoria, and I hope I'm making you proud, because I feel a little bit better after making this video. I don't know. So, share if you want to our fellow members, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this gave you, me being a new member under 3 years, and if you're a new member, I hope this gave you a better sense to what's going on. Because sometimes I think when the older people who've been in the been in practicing Buddhism, Shia Buddhists, for years and years and years, they kind of forget what it's like not to be new. To be new. And to be like, have all these other thoughts and beliefs in our heads about what we thought Buddhism was. Because they're like 10 years into this. So they completely forgot of what they used to think. And it's not a feeling anymore. It's just like, because to them, it's truth. Like, they already know the truth of this practice and everything. And they don't have those thoughts still in their head, like Fat Buddha and stuff about what it used to be and what you used to think and what's real, and fighting with what the belief you believe now and the belief you're going to have in 10 years if you practice this. So I'm at 3 years, so I still have like that,